Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bulldozer Investing. I first like to thank you for the new subscribers. And before we begin, please go ahead and subscribe. Give us a like. We're doing free education. I'm taking requests from Twitter. We have 35 requests today. I'm going to try to go over all of them for you guys. If you just follow us, subscribe us, and give us a like, that's all I need. This is a free, no subscription based service, and I'm trying to do my best to educate the community and make money for everybody along the way. So if you do that before we begin, just give us a like and subscribe. That would be awesome. And also before we begin, I'd like to conclude that this is educational purposes only. Anything I say in this video or any other videos, they're not buy-sell recommendations or any trading recommendations whatsoever. This is just technical analysis, and we're trying to show you how to chart names as much as I know. And if you think I'm wrong, or if you think there are other chartists out there that are disagreeing with what price targets that I'm giving out, so please go ahead and message me on Twitter or YouTube. I'll try to learn from others as well. So let's begin. Our first chart is going to be VIX as always. VIX is going on a tight descending wedge. Now it did break down. What I'm seeing so far is a very nice consolidation about to break up, and it might go up and hit the cloud. This is hourly chart, by the way. It might go ahead and hit the cloud top or the cloud bottom, I'm sorry, around like 25, 26 area. Let's look at the 4 hours, zooming out a bit. As you can see, this curling bottom that I was saying, it could come down as low, the VIX could come down as low as 22. I think that would be a nice position to maybe cash your money, sell some stocks, and wait for it to wait for VIX to do its thing, and then you can go in. MACD is about to cross over. RSI is oversold levels. I'm sorry, that's stochastics. MACD still needs time, so that tells me that we could see one or two couple more down days on VIX. Maybe we'll get a sell-off. The market will sell off, end of Friday. So we'll see what happens. But VIX, I'm very tightly watching, and as we saw this, right, we see this drop, then the flat bottom, and then it just moves up. Same thing here, but it just took more time. But then the spike came more violently. So VIX does its thing by finding a bottom, staying here for a couple of days or weeks, and then a violent spike. I think the next spike from VIX is going to be much higher. And if you're wondering what we could hit, and I'm going to be conservative, is going to be around 41. Okay? Depending on the time, and it could hit 45, we'll see. But this pattern is definitely bullish. So you get that 1, 2, 3, and 4. We might stay down, for a couple, maybe a week or so, and then just move up higher. Okay. So that is VIX for you guys. Next up is SPY. Right now, let's take a look at SPY. SPY had a very low. In fact, it's not even the SPY. The whole market, all these tickers that I have checked, volume is tremendously low. So this kind of questions me that are we topping out? Now, you would think that you'd be topping out here and then topping out here, but I see a huge top out. So I'm going to take a picture of it in a second. But before we begin, let's go in and zoom at the levels that, just make sure we fix the chart. This is 4 hours actually. We want to look at the daily. On the daily, let's go ahead and fix up our chart. As I always, get annoyed by this expansion area, doing its thing every time we record. There you go. So I'm not trying to call the top, but I'm worried about the volume. I'm not seeing enough volume. So I'm going to take a picture of SPY, and my overview of VIX, SPY, QQQ, and IWM is going to be a little longer than the other names because we're trying to analyze the market. So as you can see, the top is rounding. And as I've said, and I've drawn this line here, and I said, I think the spike is just going to have a huge resistance around 382. Well, it goes to like 382.50, 382.75, pulls back and do its thing. If we come back down to 60 61.8 fib. We'll look at what the price level on that is. Bounce, it's going to be another rejection, another rejection. Now, if you see this pattern, and if we try to consolidate over the cloud, I'm still not going to call it a rounding top. We might just bounce off the cloud top, which I think is what's going to happen. Okay, so let me go ahead and delete this. This is going to be, of course, this is all guessing, right? And all technical analysis is guessing. It's just that we're guessing in more, educational way. So I think we're forming a pennant, and we might just go on and off, on and off, on and off till we're on the top of the cloud. Then we'll pull up and we'll retest the 392s, which I think is where the top would be, around 392 to 400 area, and then get a rejection. Okay, so this would be like this. Okay, we form an M and then crash, that would make more sense. The crashes, the corrections, they don't come in all of a sudden. It takes time, because people who are correcting the market, they're probably want to, cash out and leave on a low volume. They're going to rise up, sell, take it lower again, rise it a little, sell. So they need some time to exit out of the market. Things just don't happen all of a sudden. So what I'm saying here is that if you want me to know what I'm thinking or what I think would happen, the moving averages, the 9 and the 20 is crossing over, which is a bearish sign, but we could have a continuation up. So, these could have a delay. Now here we set up a bear flag and went down more. I don't know, this is a V-shaped recovery, but all I'm saying is that we might have filled the gap and moved down even lower to test the cloud bottom, which would be very healthy. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some playbook here. Let's zoom in. As I always draw these yellow boxes, as I'm always, getting lucky off of these boxes. Call it luck, call it technical knowledge. I like to say that I don't know anything about the market, because every time I say I know something about the market, it humbles me and it treats me like crap, and I go back and say I don't know anything about the market. So I always like to say I don't know anything about the market. Okay. So here we hit the yellow box. I said that we probably, and when did I say that? When we bounced off the cloud top, I said we'll probably go back, maybe get a resistance off of the 61.8, pull down and go up, but this was kind of a V shape. So as soon as we broke above and gapped up, I said, hold up, I think we're just going to go ahead and close the gap. And if this comes down, I see a very good support on the 376.98, so 377 area. So we go pull back down the 377 area. I will be, this is me, I'm not recommending you to do it, but I would be buying calls here towards the 380s. Again, if you look at the weekly picture on SPY, I think that we could easily bounce towards the, as I said, like anywhere from 392 to 400, but the Fibonacci does say 414, so it could be a low volume melt up. Watch out for that, and they'll probably, get the bears quitting, and then the correction will happen. I'm not talking about some type of coronavirus correction with heavy, look at these volumes, guys. We've never even come down to that. These volumes are heavy selling. I'm not sensing a heavy selling even on these corrections. They're nearly about the average. So when you don't see a heavy volume sell-off or a big candle, don't worry about it. It's just a correction. So we might get a correction down to 343. The cloud top on the weekly is 362. So if we get a 362 to 345 correction, that's a correction. It's not a crash. I think 10 to 15% correction is totally normal. And we put the areas, right? 379, 376. This is where we'll probably start buying calls. And then ultimately, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to say that we'll probably test this bottom again, the 368 levels. Okay, so that's SPY. Let's go ahead and take a look at QQQ. This was, so as you can see, Amazon, we double topped here. And if we go down, I think 322 would be the 50% fib, so we can go back there, or we can just bounce back from here at the cloud top. This is the hourly, okay?
on the 4 hours of, looking at the chart, on the 4 hours, let's take a look. We'll zoom in more so chart looks better. Yeah. So this is definitely topping out. You see this round top? So this is when you top out. That's where you want to sell. Okay. And I don't know if we managed to close above. No, we've closed down the 20-day moving, 9-day moving average on the 4 hours. The support seems to me like 322s. Now, I don't know if this is going to be Amazon. Remember, I've talked about Amazon so many times that you guys think Amazon is going to go to 4,000, but I talked bearish on Amazon and I immediately got, dislikes on it. I don't care if you dislike it or not. I'm talking charts. I said on the long term, Amazon is in a big diamond formation. Now, Amazon can cause the market correction. And I also dissed Jeff Bezos the day before the earnings, and I talked about so many things. I don't want to go off on that topic, but he did step down. I think it's a good thing for Amazon. It's not a bad thing. I mean, give the guy a break. He's the world's second richest or first richest. I'd retire long before that. So just give him a break. I think it's good for Amazon. Let Amazon relax. Amazon could go all the way down to 2,700. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think it's going to be a big of a correction. But I do see it under 3K. Okay. So that's going to cause some technical damage to QQQ and the rest of the tech sector. Apple not gaining, Amazon not gaining. So this topic, I'm not going off of topic because we're talking about Qs. The QQQ does carry the Apple, the Netflix, and all that. I think the Netflix, Amazon, Apple, they're almost topping. Apple, I'm long-term bullish, by the way, but in the short term, it looks like they need to rest a little. And that rest, what I'm talking about, is at least 5 to 10% trim. And that's going to cause 5 to 10% trim on the QQQs. Okay. So let's wait and see. I'd say that let's wait and see if 322s are support. Right now, a lot of low volume, but in the meantime, I'm seeing some exits on the big names. So kind of worried about that. So next up is Russell. Russell, on the other hand, looks more bullish compared to, this is 4 hours, by the way. Let's take a look at the daily. Um, Russell on the daily, let's fix this up again. I'm going to start writing an email to Thinkorswim developers because this is just getting annoying. All the settings are in the right place. On the other hand, Russell looks bullish. Way above the cloud, that's one thing, but it got a pretty good support twice in a row, 2 days in a row, support off of the 9-day moving average. When it does lose, it does seem like it's correcting, but it's over on top of the 20-day, over on top of the 9-day, well above the cloud. Stochastics look bullish. MACD is good. RSI is good. I don't see any sell volume after the pickup. So Russell, to me, so what's going to happen if you want to predict the market? What's going to happen is, I didn't take a look at the Dow, but I don't know how the Dow names are doing right now, but it seems like the large cap is getting sold off and small tech names and, mid caps and small caps are being bought, and people staying home, and all these penny flippers and lunch money guys, they're going on low caps trying to make 10-15% a day type of thing. That setting is also helping Russell do its thing, but I think this is bullish. So just from taking a look at the names of SPY, QQQ, and Russell, I think Russell looks more bullish. It broke above the 61.8. This is definitely going to 226. So here we go, analyzing the markets. VIX looks like it's going to rest for a couple days or weeks, maybe a week. So in the meantime, Russell can easily go up to 226. I'm not saying go buy weekly calls of 226, so don't take the context in the wrong way. You will never hear me say buy or sell. I might say I might get in, but that's not for you. It's for me, okay? So it looks like Russell might have some resistance around 316, the previous top before the drop, but out of all the 3 names we checked, Russell seems like it is bullish, and I do think that Russell will probably or the names in the Russell would probably be a better investment or trading for the short-term swings. Okay. So we're going to take a look at Apple now. Apple, let's type in the ticker. Apple, again, resting on top of the box we drew on the daily. And it did get a little bounce from the 20-day moving average on the daily chart. However, the 9-day is curling down. We're seeing this action right here. I might just say, and again, I kept saying, be easy on Apple. Now, if you have 401k and I'm not telling you to exit your position. If you're on the longer side of things, again, I keep saying I'm bullish on Apple, and I think it's going to hit 180, 200 eventually. The thing is this, right? I'm doing these videos on the shorter term side. I think if you're easy on Apple, and if you're just buying slowly and building position, that would be the right thing. If you're going all in on Apple, on the 4-hour stochastics does look like a bearish crossover. MACD looks like it's going a bullish crossover. So things are signaling on and off, but this you see this action here, okay? This will be a bottom for Apple in the shorter term, like around 131s, which it did test on the earnings, right? So what I have to do is I might start positioning some little on the 131, and I might just start looking to see how the 126 supports. And as soon as I see, this kind of move, acting above the cloud and so forth. So if you take a look at the hourly, it's more definitive. So as soon as I see this cloud ripping up with good volume, that's when I'm going to get in calls. But right now, as we have talked about, if we look at the Ichimoku, a lot of people have been asking me what these are. These are Ichimoku clouds, and I'm only using the cloud itself. Now, the cloud itself does carry, Tankan, Kijun, Span A, Span B. I'm just using Span A, Span B, and the rest is just there, right? You can do these. I took them off, right? Because I use the daily moving averages, but you can use the Chiku, Tankan, and Kijun. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong because it's Japanese, but you can watch videos on it. I'm not a technical master of Ichimoku. I know how it works, but you could definitely, there are good quality videos on YouTube about this, right? So cloud bottom looks like a nice support for Apple on the hourly, but I do want to take it a rest. I want to see a clear definitive rip above the cloud with good volume, and I'm not seeing that. So that's why I'm saying if you're in it, there's no need to sell. Maybe you can trim some and maybe average down here. But if you're not in Apple, I don't think Apple is ready yet. Do you see this rounding top? So this is a perfect example of rounding top. Okay. As soon as it breaks below right here on the 133.74, 133.50s, then you're going to see, slowly testing the waters of 130 and then eventually 127, 126 area. So not bearish on Apple short term. I like to see some consolidation, and I like to see an opportunity for me to get in on the calls. Okay. So that is Apple. AMD is next ticker. Let's go ahead and look at AMD. I want to zoom out to 1 day first. AMD is still in this, oh my God, I'm sorry about this. AMD is still inside the wedge that we drew. Now, of course, the chip sector kind of got sold off a little today, and AMD seemed like it was doing fine, rather. This is, now, anybody who does technical charting, this is a bullish formation. Now, sometimes, you might come down to follow the trend, right? Bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. So where is a good entry for AMD might be 84. It's still inside the cloud. I think the cloud support will be $85, 85.85, and maybe at the lowest points, 84.50. Then you go for the next bounce. As soon as we get a confirmation, as you see all these selling volume on the daily, as soon as we see some buying, like right here, right? We saw 2 days in a row, I'll say go in, and maybe the cloud top right here or right here around 94s will be a good selling point. If you got in at 84, I'd definitely sell around 94. That's $10 a share, okay? But on the longer term of things, AMD could easily hit up 119. Now, I can't give you time for two purposes. If I give time, people start buying option, thinking that I am giving time. I'm not giving any time, and this definitely looks like a cup and handle, okay? There you go, cup and a handle. The longer the handle, the bigger the rip. So I do believe AMD could see 119, but again, I'm expecting a correction on tech. I'm expecting a huge bounce from VIX. I think the market on SPY is, on a verge of a rounding top. So all of these things coming along, how can I recommend or say that, okay, even though the technical charts are good, sometimes overall market can damage the technical. So on that note, I like to say that yes, AMD is on a huge cup and handle here, and it will rip. It needs patience. It's not a stock that moves up, 5% a day for a week. It's on a slow moving pace, which is always better in my opinion. You see this double bottom and a rip. Maybe we'll, sink down to 83s, go up to 98, come down again and test 85, and then a huge rip after that. So on my book, what I think, again, this is an estimation on the technicals and historical patterns. Come down back to 84, go up, come down, double bottom, and then rip. Okay, so that's the move I'm expecting from AMD. Overall, name is good. I use AMD chipset. I use AMD graphic card. I know it's not better than NVIDIA, but that's what I could afford. I could afford NVIDIA too, but I don't need to use NVIDIA. I don't do gaming or anything. So that's 8 gigabytes of, graphic card of AMD is good enough for me for charting and using, TOS and so forth. Okay. So that's AMD. Next up is AMKR. I'm trying to move things on the alphabetical side of things. So AMKR is next after AMD. I like the chart, but I don't like the bearish crossover, and it did test. So we could retest the 1579 to $15. Now I want to be respectful to this person who had requested this name, so I'm going to go in and do an in-depth analysis. So I don't want to just say, eyeball things and say, I believe, I don't know when we did this, maybe yesterday, or the day before, but I do think that this name, the chart still stands as is. Um, it couldn't break above the 9-day moving average, so it might retest 1585, maybe hit the cloud bottom, who knows. But overall, the chart is bullish. Stochastics is about to merge on a bullish side. RSI is still flat. MACD still needs time. So what it's telling me is it's probably going to retest either the top of these candles. So let's go ahead and put a price point onto it. It's either going to test this, which is sitting at 1580, so 1550, let's say, right? 1550, 1548, but let's say 1550. Or it could come down to as low as the candles right here. Okay, so you see this like good support area, and then it also coincides with the cloud top. So this would be a good buying opportunity. Again, we don't know how the cloud top will hold. If it sinks, it'll be 1326. I'm not trying to be bearish here because the chart itself, I like it on the daily. It's just that, when you guys are requesting, give the chart some time because these names need time. Of course, the stochastics and MACD definitely needs 1 week. Although this looks like a bear flag and it might rest, don't worry about it. It could double bottom and rip. I said that into Moderna. Somebody had asked me Moderna, and they actually followed us because of Moderna. I think so. So Moderna, I said, even though it's bear flagging, give it some time. It's gonna reach, 120s. It'll come back to 113s, retest, and it's gonna rip higher. And I see 160s definitely. So what it did is it ripped through and it went to like 200 and it came back to where it's supposed to be, which was 160 anyway. So same with this name. You got to rest a little, you got to wait a week, and then eventually it could hit 21. But it's just that you got to give the chart some time. So if you guys please, I mean, if you guys please just request the names that I have not reviewed lately, besides Apple and all the big cap names, because they do tell us where the market is going to go. That would be better for everybody because then like the videos go really long. Okay. So that's for AMKR. Next up is apps. So let's go ahead and type apps here. Digital Turbine looks bullish. Looks good. And again, I am not. I mean, I've seen apps charts and I've read it on Twitter and some people do chart it. So I'm not too familiar with the company though, as if I know Amazon and Apple, so I have not followed the action. So sometimes you do have to follow the trading action, okay? So if you don't follow the trading action, you might not be familiar to um, the name itself, okay? Where it could come down to, it does have a very nice support on the daily on 9-day moving day average, and then it could get a support at 58.78, which is where this channel is. But don't worry, if it doesn't fall down, I would be aware because it could go up and hit 68.51 and then come down to rest on this channel. So you want to take a good image off of this off of this channel. Um, I wish I had time to pause the video and post all these things on Twitter, but I do this for part-time and just enjoyment and try to help people. So I wish I had enough time to be more active. So on the side of things here, two things can happen. One, it could come down and test 20-day moving average or the channel bottom channel here, which is 59.28.25. So it has to hold this channel. And if it does, it's definitely going to go to 68.51 and then eventually $70. The most bullish case scenario is 91, but I have to do a due diligence on the company to even say that. You can also put the chart like this, which I think is more conservative, which will be the 100% will be the top channel here. Okay. But you want to watch the channels. If it breaks down, the technical chart is them, broken, and it would be bearish, and it can go all the way down to cloud bottom or get a supported cloud top, which is also coincides with the 50-day moving average. So you want to follow this channel, take a picture. The 9-day moving average was a resistance. Now it's a support. I know the day was very low volume day for all the stocks, and it does seem like it has earnings. So I don't know if what was it today? Yeah, it was today. So yeah, it's not down on earnings. Maybe it's after hours. Let me see. Is it after hours? Yeah, after market. So let's take a look at the minute chart here. Wow. Wow, guys. Okay. So real technical analysis going on here. Look at this channel that I just drew. I honestly didn't even know that the earning call was today after hours, as you have evidenced it. I didn't plan or stage this, but where did it go? Almost to the top of the channel. Now let's zoom out because there would have been no way that I would have known where it could have went. Okay, so it already hit the top of the channel. This is amazing, guys. So this just proves that we don't BS. We don't do like BS analysis and give like to the moon targets. So last minute correction I did on the chart, and I said you want to watch these channels, and it hit perfect to the channel. So what you want to do tomorrow is that it could go up to 77.26. I'm sorry if I'm being really loud, but I'm super excited about this because this just proves how technicals work. This doesn't prove how good I am. Heck no. I always say I'd rather be lucky and make millions of dollars than know something and, have a negative balance. So this just proves how technicality works. It's like a playbook. You want to buy it where you're supposed to buy it, and you want to sell it where you're supposed to sell it. Now, what would I do at this point if it holds tomorrow 74s and it opens at 77? That's where I would sell. If it opens around $80 or something, it could go to 91.42. But super excited. This is a real-time analysis. I wish I did like YouTube live, which I'm planning to in next couple weeks. This is a super example, an extraordinary example of how technicals work. I honestly had no clue whatsoever that the earnings were after market hours, and I've just charted this and it hit the top of the channel. Okay. So here looking at it, I didn't even pay attention that it was here. Wow, 72. It dropped a little, but it's okay. We'll see what happens. It hit the top of the channel, got a rejection, that's fine. But I honestly didn't even know that the price was here. I was just paying attention on the price here and paying attention on the candle, okay? So that's apps for you, all right? So let's take a look at CCIV. So CCIV had some news, I think. It explode. Wow. All right, guys, again, this comes to show you that how perfect fibs work. Even on the 4 hours, it's even more perfect. Let's take a look at the hourly. It's even extraordinary, okay? So I drew this. Of course, I probably drew it on the 4 hours because it seems like it, let's take a look where I drew the fib on. Yeah, I might even work. How did I do the fib? Yeah, I did it on the daily. So I did it on the daily. Just zooming in, of course, the fib will look off, but it's on the daily. Look at this beauty, guys. What does this say? 3506, 3518. That's when you want to sell it. Now, what do you want? It looks like a cup and handle on the hourly. So you get a cup and a handle. Of course, the 100-day fib is going to be a support. Now, on the side of things here, if you're in it, I would hold it. If you want to get in it, let the MACD relax, at least on the hourly. Let the stochastics turn around. Let the RSI pick up a little. Maybe, buy it when the RSI is at the oversold levels and the MACD and the stochastics right here is curling up. That's when you want to get in this name. If you were in it, congratulations on how things worked. I don't know if I charted this for my sister because my sister had this and it just bam, you know, what, twice. This is not a coincidence, twice. You see this like after it hitting it twice, it's a double top, so you want to watch out, okay? So as you can see, like you don't want to buy things immediately, right? Let it go and fix. Look at the MACD, right? It just went up for days. It might frustrate you. For days meaning like maybe a week. But this might happen the same way, maybe even shorter, but let the internals relax. Don't watch it day to day. Let the internals relax. What I think would come down the most would be like 2491. Again, I'm not bearish on the name. This is a SPAC, by the way. I don't know what kind of news they had to run it up. I believe one of the SPAC names that I was in, I don't have it anymore, but what was the name? Bridgewater. I think that's what it was. And that also exploded after hours on some, I don't know, a couple days ago. So I don't know what's going on with SPACs, but on the hourly, I do see a bearish divergence on the moving day averages. And I believe that we need to have this rest a little. And that rest would come around $24. Okay. So congratulations on people who made money. Hold it. I don't know how SPACs works. Just looking at the chart, it played out perfect twice. And I drew this probably either on a request or for my sister, but it is working. Okay. It is working. So congratulations for those who'd won and made some money. But you got to think that, there is a, falling wedge, which is bullish. But again, I don't see the internals here with MACD stochastics being ready yet, okay, for the next move. Next up is CHWY. I do have a dog. I have not used it, but I guess it because I do live nearby, PetSmart, like literally half a mile away. Anyhow, it seems like on the hourly, it is hitting a cloud top resistance. Let's take a look at the daily first. On the daily, it does look bullish. It seems like I've charted this out. Again, the stochastics is almost ready with the RSI, but the MACD is not ready yet. It looks like it's forming a flag, and if you expand the chart, this looks like a very delicious cup and handle to me. Let's fix up the chart a little and put the bottom in a little lower. I believe that this is going to at least 112. Again, these are not buy recommendations. This is what I'm seeing on the chart. And then eventually, if we do see, just like how I charted previously apps, right? Let's go ahead and hit the channels. I don't know, this is way back, but yeah. So you want to follow this up, you want to buy it here and sell it here. So 126 would be our target actually. You might see some resistance on the fib lines. It might come back here, bounce back, but eventually it looks like it's on the path of 126. Again, not pointing these out for options plays. I'm not trying to give time. You do your own risk and due diligence. It looks like after a couple sell-offs, strong buy here. So it looks like somebody's trying to, accumulate things. So I believe that this is on a verge of going higher. It's a bullish chart. Next up, CLSK. I don't know if I reviewed this yesterday, and if I did, okay, I didn't, it seems like, and it looks like it's so the thing here is that you can look at it this way, right? This could be a head and shoulder, or this could be a falling wedge play. And this looks ready. This is bullish. I think this is a good this is a good chart. MACD is about you. This is a good timing. It got rejected off of the 20. Let it come down and retest 27.2. But I think the chart is almost ready with the MACD. Stochastics is already ready. RSI is rising up. I'm not familiar with the name, but I'm liking the charts, guys. You guys pick better names than I do. Honestly, I'm terrible at picking names. I'm terrible at timing. Even though I chart these things out, I'm terrible at timing. One thing that I like to mention is that this is ready. And it might come down and surprise you and test 2296, but I think overall the chart looks really good, at least on the internals. Okay. I don't like the way that it got rejected on the 20-day moving average on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the hourly. It ripped above the cloud, and if it does come back and retest around 27s, that's totally fine. I think this is on a bullish run. Now I'm waiting. Remember, and on the 4 hours though, it might hit, if it might hit 32, come back to test 27s, and then it's not ready on the 4 hours yet. But on the daily, if you're on it for the long term, I think it's ready. If you're trying to swing it, just wait a little, wait it come back to 2650s, 27s. If you're on the option side of things, you want to do a perfect timing. This is what I'm waiting for in Apple. You see this rounding bottom, guys, even if you take it here, this is a rounding bottom. It definitely formed a bottom, and that support will come around 27 if it drops. But this is a good name. Excited to see this chart. So it could be, and it could be a let's take a look at where it could go. That's the second thing I want to see here is first target between 33 to 35. And then ultimately, if this works out, this is definitely going to 53. Again, on the bullish side, I don't know what the company does. It looks like it's what a clean spark. I don't know if it's like a clean energy thing, but you see, you want to see some consolidation. The internals are not ready. Internals are not ready. And then you get the MACD crossover, you get the stochastics, you get the RSI from the oversouls to pick up. That's when you want to get in, and it'll eat your patience. You also want to check the cloud. As soon as it rips the cloud, that's where you want to get in. So now, if it comes down, crashing all the way to 23, don't cry because right around 25 or so, 25, 23, between those areas, I think it'll see some huge support. So that's why when you get in these names, you want to make sure you time it correctly. If you're not worried about the timing, then you want to buy it in steps, okay? When I like the chart, I like to spend more time because it does serve a good example for people. The resistance on here is basically right on this candle, okay? You see this 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times. Oh, I'm drawing an extension. I'm sorry. Should have done this, right? So this right here is 1. This right here is 2, 3, and 4. So there's clearly that 20-day moving average here. So it needs to break above 29.92. So about $30 will be your resistance area. Your support area is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is, this range, so it could come down, and it does support this cloud bottom. If it comes down to 24.37, don't cry. That's when you want to buy more for the up, 35, 42, 53 areas. Okay. So that's what I got to say and conclude about this name. I know we have many names to cover, and we're already 38 minutes. Okay. Um, Next name is CRISPR. So is it CRISPR? CRSP? No, it's not CRISPR. I'm sorry. I feel dumb. It is CRISPR. Okay. I don't feel dumb. I'm sorry. When I start typing things, the list didn't come. I was like, I knew it was CRISPR. Why am I, wrong on this? CRISPR, it could. So this is the thing about a lot of people, getting confused about the same chart, by the way. Like MACD is almost ready. Now it's not. It might need a couple days, maybe a week. A lot of selling going on, but you got Kathy on your side. 50-day moving average is an awesome support, but the 9-day moving average seems like it's a resistance. It does seem like it could go up to 20-day moving average, which is 182. At most, the cloud top, and it looks like a resistance here as well. 192 is where you want to sell it. Where you do want to buy it is around 160. So you're sitting right in the middle. The price is about, no, 164. So yeah, you can accumulate things and you can accumulate till I think 155 would be a good way. I don't know if Kathy is selling this, but I see a lot of sell volume on this name. However, the internals, stochastics is almost ready. RSI, let it drip down a little bit to oversold levels. Let the MACD do its thing and curl up. So we're not ready yet. Okay. I hope that this doesn't. So if it gets up to 182, that's not where you buy because 182 is your resistance. And that resistance could form a head and shoulders play. Okay. So you get this first shoulder, head, and if it comes down here and it goes down, that's a head and shoulder. And if it loses the neckline, say goodbye. So this is a name that you have to watch, especially this level right here. Okay. So this level 147, okay, I believe is what the neckline should be. So this could go up to 182s, but then again, I see a clear, sign of head and shoulder here. If it breaks above, yeah, that's good. But I'd load some off from 182, and this could play out as a bear flag. Okay. Again, I'm saying it could play out because I don't know that Kathy is in it, right? She might protect it from falling. So we don't, and you don't think they have analysts 5 or 10 times, maybe a million times better than I am? Okay. So they know how things are moving and they could just, support and move things up. But all I'm saying is this is a hockey stick formation. You can call it a bear flag. It could rip down and even down, right? But it's definitely going to test 182 and we'll see what happens. Now, the second level is on the cloud top, okay? So we'll see how that goes, guys. This would be a name that I would probably not go in yet because of the technical reasons that I've just explained. FireEye. Let's take a look at FireEye. FireEye has a clear support. Now we've drawn this chart, I don't know when back, but oh boy, are the fibs correct. 2008, 2008. Now it could come down as low as 1877. It kind of lost its thing on the wedge or pennant. Actually, I like to fix that because it's a pennant. It's a pennant. It's a flag right now. Let's fix this chart a little because it looks like I don't know what to say about this, guys. This was a struggling name for a long time. You see how perfect the fib was. Okay. So I see a lot of sell today, a lot of volume on the sell side. I don't know what the news was, but when you do have a lot of sell, 7.5%, you might get a bounce from it the next day. Okay. But I am a guy that I would not get in until we rip above this channel that we drew, or I see a clear support on the 61.8. Also, the MACD is definitely not ready. You have to give 2-3 weeks. Um, it's going over sold territory. I have to hold this. I would hold saying anything because it could be flagging for another huge upside. But for now, the heavy selling, I mean, the sell side is nothing compared to the buy side on that what was it, the solar works, and I forgot what happened, but there was a breach obviously in FireEye. I mean FireEye found it and so forth, so it had a huge up days, but I think that it needs to consolidate and it's still on the consolidation. MACD is not ready yet. I believe that if it could go down to 1877, that would be a good buying opportunity. The cloud bottom could also support at 1939. Okay. Next up, so GOEV does not have enough data for the daily, so we're going to check out the hourly. The hourly is good. It broke above the cloud. Let's take a look at the 4 hours. It's in the cloud. I believe that uh, the support should come around 1627. Let it rest. It's probably going to chill and do its thing and like come down a little, but the MAC on the 4 hours, the MACD had merged from the 1550 levels. Stochastics is going down a little, don't worry. So this name, I researched a little. I like Excel better than GOEV in many, different ways. I don't know how the modular electrical vehicle cars would play in the long term. Yeah, the name people in this name are great. The company are great people. They're, engineers from BMW, if I recall it correctly. I did do some due diligence on this company. If you do believe their business story, if you do believe in the modular EV sector, then yes. But if Tesla gets hurt, all of these names are going to get hurt. And Tesla, I don't have Tesla in the list, so we only covered less than half of names, so we're already at 45 minutes. But I'd say that this industry is heavily dependent on Tesla. If Tesla is taken down, this name will as well. It looks like on the technical side, the most bullish scenario would be 1974 to 2098. However, I do think it's just going to follow down towards the cloud bottom and then rip up. So it does need time. Give it some time. It does have very less data for us to analyze. I would say if you're an investor, just due diligence, research the company, and then put your money into it. For swing trading or options, I do think it needs a week or so. Okay. IZEA, this was another request. IZEA. I don't know if I pronounced it right. Wow. Okay. This chart has been on a very bullish run. I don't know the company, but it looks like a very good. So I don't know if this is a type of thing that Trader Stuvie would put up on, well, put up meaning like put out, actually, that would have been the right word. Um, I'm not sure why it's not clicking here. There you go. So it's definitely, it broke out, but the 9-day moving average, it seems like it's a resistance on the daily chart. Um, Let me do hourly. Yeah. So cloud bottom support on the hourly. I never go in for the first breakout, guys. So that's my thing. And if this does come down to somewhere around 480, 482, even $5, right? That's where you want to get in. So it's at $5 actually. Wow. Okay, it's $5. That would be good area to get in for the next, breakout. I'm gonna go ahead and do the daily chart really quick. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Time axis. Let's go ahead and give like 40. Everything looks good. And this looks very similar to what Palantir chart looked like a couple days ago. Um, you can do extensions like this. This could see here. I think the first rest stop is going to be around here. Ultimate long-term target would be $11. And again, I don't know what the company does, if the business is legit. Again, you got to watch the sector. We talked about the tech sector. We talked about the big names. We talked about the Russell. We talked about EV sector. So you got to watch out for the sector it's in. Okay. So that's what, worries me, that these technicals might not work due to the fact because of its sector. Okay. Always watch for that. Now, if you want to take this line up here and connect the two lows, that's a different story. Or you can bring up the line and go something like this. Okay. So either way, it seems like it's a support on the trend, but then the 9-day moving average is definitely a resistance. It moved up today, and I think let's look at the 5-minute chart. It it probably moved up. I don't know what. Let me do daily. So yeah, started up, moved down 50 cents. Clear support on the trend line we took. So you got to be patient in the name. I don't know what the volume is on this, but the chart looks like it's on a verge of a breakout. Okay. So from this point on, I have to be super fast because we only covered half of what I'm supposed to cover, JE. Maybe I should limit the requests to only 2 stocks at max. JE looks good on the hourly. It looks like it's a break. So I don't know where you guys are finding these names. I'm just so conventional. Wow, on the daily side of things, Just Energy Group. Okay, so it had a 13% move today. Broke above the cloud on the daily. Look at the weekly chart. I would assume that this max upside would be 16 just looking at the cloud. The first resistance will be 1114. Okay. And the moving averages on the weekly came all the way down. Now, if this goes super parabolic run, it could go all the way up to 48 in the long term. I have to do some research on this company. However, the chart looks bullish. Now, again, the volume activity, um, the news, the sector, it all depends. Okay. It all depends. Now, this could move up to on the hourly chart of things because I can't do daily chart on this because if you look at the daily, it's, crazy action. 4 hours can't even do. So 1 hour seems like a logical time frame. And to me, 868, 922 should be reasonable. Broke above the cloud, comes back down to 702. That would be a nice support area. And I think it's on the verge of breaking out towards 868 and 922. If you're longing this name, very long. Remember the 1379? What did I just tell you on the weekly side of things? I said it could go all the way up to where is this? 1186 on the 50-day moving average on the weekly chart. It is pointing out anywhere from the 100% to 161. I'd sell around there, maybe around $12 if you're long this name. Okay, that's a super bullish like scenario. Okay. But for now, 868, 922, that's where it would reach on the fib extension. Support would be 704, and I see a clear support on the 657 area. Okay. Netflix is up next. So Netflix is on a good pennant on the hourly, clear support on the cloud top. Again, we talked about the large cap, the techs of the large cap, the tech world is getting sold off a little. It did go over the 100%, coming to rest on the 61.8, which is 354. It even broke down. If Netflix comes down to 520, that would be a good way to play it. I'm just worried about the big cap sector. Good name. I believe it's not a growth name anymore. It has been kind of like the Netflix or the Amazon chart. It's just been on the price range. So if you look at this price range, yeah. So it's on this price range. It couldn't break out. So I believe that the support will be 520s, 516s. Worst case scenario, you're looking down at 500. Okay. Now, if it goes higher, which it does have a chance of, let me delete this yellow box, which it does have a chance of bouncing up from the 20-day moving average. We're looking at 20-day moving average at a 530 bucks, so $9 below. It could go and retest 578 or even fill the gap at 556. So 556 being conservative. So if you look at 546, why did I mean 556? Why did I give that level? First of all, there's a top here, right? And second of all, that would be the fill the gap scenario, which already it did, but another bounce from this 20-day moving average, it could well test 556. If it breaks above, that would be 578. The bearish side or the support side of things, 520 and 503, so just round it off to 500 even. Okay. The only thing I'm scared of is basically the big cap names getting sold off. If you look at this right here, it could do a cup and handle and then break out. Okay. NOG, Northern Oil Gas. I believe oil. So I don't know what it is, but it just seems like it's weird. But it seems like EV sector is getting sold off and oil names are. So rather it be Northern Oil, rather it be Rig, like one of those penny stocks type of things that moves faster. Rather it be Halliburton or any other name that SLB, any Exxon, any name, right? BP, Shell. I think the charts look very similar and the chart looks bullish. I don't know why the oil is coming up because of the the shots, the COVID vaccine, but I don't know if the world is ready to come out of their house. So if you're just looking at the channel here, It could go up as high as 1278. The first support would be at 9-day moving average, which is 1042, and then it could rest at $10. However, I do think the chart looks bullish. Oil is bullish. Airlines, cruise sector might, jump up. It did, which it did. I did a rough sketch, would it probably hit, 1118 or something, or let me fix this up a little. The fib. What is the low here? 858. Um, what is the high here? 1225. Because the person who requested this, I I know she was one of my first followers, and she said like, I don't even know why you have such less followers, and it was literally my first day tweeting things. So I want to dedicate my time to her to make sure that I do this correctly. Um, yeah, there are a couple names that follow me the first day, which I won't forget and appreciate them. So 1178 is where the resistance is, and it finished below the 50-day 50% Fibonacci level. I see a clear support on the 9-day moving average, which is around 1043. If it does break below, it could hit $9 or $10 even, but I think it's a bullish run. It just needs to relax because today it had a good move actually. Volume is kicking in. Volume was always kicking in. I see a clear buy, 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 buy. I think this sector is going to be bullish overall, and I think it could even hit the top of the channel around $13.18. Okay, bullish on the oil names, but I don't know how far. It's gonna go slowly. Okay, couple people requested this open. I am not familiar. Open Door Technologies. Okay, so I'm not familiar, and I'm sorry if I'm illiterate for not knowing these things. Again, I'm so used to trading the big names and the common stocks that I've been trading for the 10 years. A lot of new names out there after COVID, a lot of IPOs and things like that. I don't know if this is an IPO company or SPAC company, but the trend here is bullish. But and actually, um, very clear, very clear and distinctive support at 50-day moving average on the daily. Cloud top support, it could hang around here and it just chill out on this name. What I mean by chill out is give it some time. I think this is a bullish scenario here looking at the chart. Again, I don't know what the company does. I don't know their financials and I have not followed up their name, but just looking at this extension, they have hit the 50 fib. It's totally normal for them to get a support at the cloud top around 26.50, 26.27. Those ranges are fine. Let it rest. And then the next bounce up is going to be 34.73 and 40 bucks. Okay. So if you actually draw another channel connecting the previous tops, okay, that's a bigger channel. This is the breakout pennant channel, and this is the long-term channel, right? So it could very well hit top of the channel around 36.50. So looking bullish on the name. MACD is ready, stochastics is ready, RSI is picking up. Any day, guys, any day this can break out. I don't know where you guys are finding these names. I'm jealous. I'm certainly jealous of the names that you're finding me, and I wish I wasn't on Fubo. I would have put some money into these names that you guys are telling me. Amazing job, guys. We're forming a great team. Okay. So the next name is basically one and only Palantir. I followed this name for a couple months. I am guessing that I'm probably an expert on this name, just watching the daily volumes, the moves, the ups, the downs, how it reacts. So today was a very low volume day. So I think we're living this pennant, but in a different way. This is a falling wedge. This was a pennant. It's going to eat your patience away. Low volume selling. I wouldn't be surprised if any other analysts or analysts come up and say, oh, this is worth $10, this is worth $15, and crush the stock for another 10% day on a day, I wouldn't be surprised because they're trying to knock the price down before the earnings, which is a good thing. So you want to buy this in accumulation. Every 10%, 5% down day, you want to buy it in accumulation. I think this first support will come around 29.65. I believe the MACD stochastics is not ready, and I know when the stock is not ready, it's a pain for you. It's a pain for you. So you might see some up and down days, right? It might go ahead and test 34, give you hopes, and then get crushed. Analysts would come up and give like an extremely bearish target. But my view has not changed on this name a single bit. And I am ready to get in this name as soon as Fubo goes up. I sell my shares around 60 bucks, which is my target. I'm going to start accumulating this name again. I just have a love and hate relationship with this name, but I believe the support, if this hits 29, 28, don't question it. If this comes down to 26.9, 27, don't, oh my God. I'm sorry for people who are holding it, but I'm just wishing it to go lower so I can buy it, but it does not sound right. It sounds selfish, and I'm sorry. Um, I believe that people are freaking out because of the earnings and the lockup expiration, which I thought that we're going to have an explosion, around January, late January, early February, and then come down towards the earnings, and then we're going to see a real move up. That's when people are going to be like, oh, I wish I was in this name. And that move up is going to be at least 50 bucks. So you're in this name and you're in some pain, save some cash and just keep on buying the dips. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Well, I don't want to give like again, I'm not, I don't want to say it, but like, this is not an financial advising channel, but I'm just saying it off my heart. Like if I was in this name right now, I'd be accumulating it. And as soon as I get some cash ready on the side, I am going to accumulate it. But looking at the MACD stochastics RSI, you need to start accumulating little by little because I know how this drips down and just eats your patience away. It like rises 5% and then bam, it loses. So just be careful on that. Okay. Next name on the list is Peloton. Peloton is, wow, I mean, in the longer term of things, this looks like a cup and handle. I mean, not exactly, but I do believe that 9-day, I mean, I don't believe it, that's what I see, is the 9-day moving average is right now acting as a resistance. If this comes down somewhere around 142, don't get frustrated. I think it's a sell-off on the earnings because the last earnings, it went up and then gotten crushed. I don't know why it went up and got crushed. I believe the earnings are going to be extraordinary. I've heard the name Peloton everywhere, every commercial. I'm watching Hulu shows and I'm seeing a lot of commercials. I think I am going to sign up for their subscription. I don't have the machine. I don't plan on getting it, but I'm going to sign up for their subscription. Maybe Apple Fitness. I don't know. I have to try the free subscription to compare both and how they, compare. But I think Peloton has it going better than Apple. Apple just wanted to get this. Apple, like, okay, they were the one, fitness watch and stuff that's working out and so forth, but they just want to get into everything that's, car. Then they, how you hear these, Tesla's doing good, then you hear Apple trying to get into it. Peloton is doing good, they're trying to get into it. I know they have the fitness thing going, but I can't compare them with Peloton. I think Peloton has started this way earlier. Okay. So I believe that this could come in rest 140s. I just want to wait till earnings. If you own the name, I can't say anything. But if you're trying to get into it, or if I was trying to get into it, I'll wait till the earnings. I don't care if it goes up in the earnings. If it dips a little, I'll buy it. My ultimate target was, you see how it hit the 50 fib, came back down. So let's take a look how far it could go down in the retracement of here. So again, worst case scenario around 138 to 130s. So that's what I will look for, a buying opportunity. If it gets sold off before the earnings, I would probably try to get in around 130 if it drops that low. I know it won't, but the 50-day moving average and the 50% fib level is around 138. So I believe that it could drop to 138, but it's a great company. The chart looks good. If you're trading the name, you have to be technical, but if you're owning the name, I would say it's on a long-term bullish chart. Okay. You want to trade the pattern here. Okay. Move down. I believe the next leg up could be even 187 or even at 200. My long-term target on this one is definitely 200. Now, if you want to be like crazy bull on this, it would be 239. I think it's bulletproof due to coronavirus crap. I'm sorry about it, but like if people are stuck home, stay home stock. MACD is not ready yet. I believe this earning is gonna set a scenario. You see the earnings. Earnings are not good plays these days. Could go up and down in 2 seconds, right? But you want to buy the dip off of the earning, just like here, just like here. Okay, and this is a slow moving stock. When it rips, but you gotta be patient on this one. Okay. Next up is RBBN. Not familiar with the name, but we'll give it a try. Ribbon Communications. Wow. Yeah, this is bullish, but we kind of missed this one. Like I wish you'd had asked me this a couple days ago, because when you see a support like this, a rounding bottom, it's still bullish. You could still go at it, but I'm not sure what the earnings will play out. Um, let's take a look at the retracement off of this and see, what. Sorry about this. It's like on toss, if you click on the moving day averages, it won't for some odd reason it won't start drawing. Um, Let me see if I pull this extension all the way down to here. What do we get? Yeah, this looks better. I believe this can go to 957. Now I'm not trying to pump up the stock because I have no freaking clue what this company does. I like I like to be in names where it broke this channel too. So let's do a mini on the hourly, or yeah, let's do on the hourly. If we do a fib extension off of here, again, I don't know what the volume, but yeah, it just hit the 100% fib here, so it might come down and retest 807. I know I might sound bearish on it, but yeah, let's delete the long-term fib, and the short-term fib actually is better here. Clear support off of the 61.8, and then it hit the 100%, and then came back down. If it does come back to 793, I think it's a good opportunity. The chart overall on the daily looks bullish. On the long term, it looks bullish. Let me auto zoom. Well, how? Yeah, the previous high on the week. Yeah. So this is, I don't know what this stock does, honestly. I don't know what it does, but what you could do is just wait for a pullback. It's a huge flag setup on the weekly and a rip. Okay. So I don't want to like say anything, but on the hourly, it did hit the 100% fib. So you want to wait for a consolidation. Next name is REZZF. I think this was, I took a look at it. One of our recent followers had requested this. It's a battery company. A lot of the battery company, lithium, all these companies for some reason today took off. A lot of buying volume. Um, you see this right here. We could do an extension from here. Maybe if we do the top, maybe here. Yeah, it looks better this way. We'll do another extension. I think this is already done. I think this is an hourly chart, by the way. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a penny stock. I'm not sure if this is a OTC. It should be at this price level. It's above the 161. Previously though, let me take a look how it reacted. So you don't want to lose a 9-day moving average. You want to be careful on this name because it's a penny stock. Huge candles, huge volumes, and you want to buy it when it dips. I never try to buy in when it rips. On this right here, this rip, yeah, but right now, penny stock status, volume just kicked in. Somebody knows something. I mean, I see the volume, but I'd like to give this a rest. So where is this rest? How far can it come down to? It could come down to the beginning of today's price, 34 cents. Okay. If you just want to, YOLO and, put lottos in this, that's fine. It's just that, I don't have enough data on the chart itself. I don't know the company a lot, but I see a lot of buy volume. even on the dips, I don't see a lot of sell volume. So somebody knows something, okay? And these are the names that you want to put like $1,000 and just forget it for years, and then you like the next plug, you know? I remember buying plug from these levels. Now it's $75, okay? Next up is Sol, S-O-L. It's a solar company, Renesola. Lot of the names out there on Twitter have been on this name. I don't know what chart they're looking at, 4 hours or the hourly chart. On the 4 hours, MACD is good, but I don't like the cloud, so it's tricky. So let me tell you one thing, right? A lot of people waiting for rip. So this is the thing. It rips, so they tell you, buy it, and it rips, and they sell it, and you just kind of miss it, and it just goes down. Reason why is because the moving day averages are bearish. Obviously, the 9-day moving average is also acting as a resistance. 20-day is acting as a support, but I believe that this is going to dip. Okay. And if this and the solar companies right now is on it, they're like, you want to follow First Solar and also SunPower. You want to check the sector leaders. Obviously, there's huge buy, a lot of accumulation going on. This is going to set up for a move. That I'm sure of. Okay. But you got to be patient, and it looks like a bearish divergence, and if it does go up, it'll go up 28, so you want to just sell the rip immediately. Okay. I don't think they will crush the name, but I think it will come down towards 21 area. Okay. Because I see a lot of accumulation, a lot of buying. Okay. So this is a name where you want to like get in at the correct time, but 9-day moving average, you got to watch out for that. As you can see, it's like support, 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 and then resistance, resistance, resistance. Now the next leg down, it held the double bottom around 1889 pretty well, but you want to watch out for this. The breakouts, if you want to, if you want to say, okay, this is a breakout, I do agree with you, right? I do agree with you. The issue is the moving day averages. So whenever you get the first breakout, there could be a harsh down day. Okay. And I know that if you're, I'm sorry if you're in this name and you believe other names, posting charts. This is my way. This is my way of seeing things. If I don't see a, rip above the moving day averages that I respect, I can't get in the name, even if it rips out of the, the pennant or a wedge, right? So that's my view. You can try the waters. I believe it could go up as high as 25, another buck or so, but I wouldn't test my luck on this. I know that my chart looks kind of off because of the time axis is just off. If we do this like 20, so this looks like a very nice breakout. However, you could do this, right? The issue here is the moving averages, okay? So be careful on that. Next up is space. Now, space is a highly shorted, highly bullish that I was in right around here. Remember, yeah. So this is a perfect example from the previous name, which was Sol, right? Renesol company. So remember I said when you have the negative divergence on the or the bearish divergence on the daily moving averages, and you gotta respect that. This is what I mean. So if you look at this chart, it looks like it's breaking out, and then bam, right? So you want to test other things like is stochastics, MACD, RSI. You want to see the cloud, right? You don't want to get in here around 27 and then get punished till 23 and lose sleep. You want to make sure the averages play out, and you break the average, you come back down, then you break it, and you buy it here, and then bam, right? Even down here, even down here, even down here, I kept saying that this is at least a $42 stock. Now that it's above 42, and now that it reached all our target, I believe that the squeeze is happening on this name. Very good name, very good company. I don't know what their launch date is. Did they like, announce another launch date? But this is a perfect cup handle, flag, pennant, whatever you want to call it. The next leg is ready. It had some resistance around the 50 fib line, which is 56.95. I think this is going to 67 and a higher target is 78. We talked about this name. We're bullish on this name. We've been bullish on it since day one. I bought the first dip around 17. I wish I just held it and not, scrambled with other names out there and just kept this all along. So what's going on here? Worst case scenario, if it dips to 51, that's where I would get it. And it's definitely going all the way up to 78. Lots of shorts in here and the squeeze is going to be nasty. Only technical breakdown or bad news that it would happen is the launch date gets delayed again or their launch is not successful or whatever. Then you'll see a heavy down day, like 20%, 30%. Because you went up so high, the downside is going to be heavy. So that's the only thing. Even though the technicals look great, even though the technicals show 78, a bad news can drop this tremendously. So watch out for that. Next up is TLRY. Now, TLRY and all the, marijuana stocks have been on a rally. TLRY being the most, another 12%. On the hourly, the 9-day moving average has been a support. It lost it. It gained support on the 20-day moving average. MACD crossed on bearish, stochastics bearish, RSI moving down. So I believe, so if you think this has another leg, you gotta, on the hourly, you gotta follow this, okay? If it loses 20-day and if it loses this channel 25, it could go down as low as 21.92. Let's confirm that with the retracement. Okay, that is exactly what the retracement is saying. Right around the 21.92, $22. Maybe it'll test the cloud right here around $22. So I don't like to recommend names where it moved from 18 bucks to $28. Now if it does rip through this, yeah, but you get the MACD, stochastics, RSI all bearish. The moving averages are bearish on the hourly. Let's take a look at the daily. So you see this pennant that I drew, or the falling wedge, and it could, if in fact, it could get down to as low as 20 bucks. So you do want to watch out. You do want to make sure that, you want to see a rounding bottom like this and then get in. Don't be, don't do the FOMO thing. You missed it, you missed it. That's it. Yeah. That's all I got to say. If you missed it, don't chase it. Find another name. I'm not, putting crap on the name, good buy volume and everything. Biden being pro, marijuana and all these cannabis stocks are going up. But I got to see the technicals. I can't lie. These, if I say it's bullish and you see the crossover on all of the internals and the moving day averages are curling down, I don't want to mislead you. So if this name moves up, fine, but I rather tell you what I see and not pump it up. Okay? I will rather let you know that, yeah, the technicals look, on the hourly, at least on the shorter term side, yeah, it looks a little bearish, but it could have a correction and then move up again. Okay. Now, next up is VRM. Room. Is this, where did I hear this company? Are they doing like a auto sale, like automobile online sale? On the hourly, I do see a cup and handle, but I want to zoom out because I'm not familiar with the stock. Yeah, okay, okay, this is good. You get a cup and a handle, okay? You're gonna say you're always saying cup and handle, but what can I say? That's what I see, right? Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but yeah, hit the 50-day moving average. This name, I like this chart, but I gotta, research the business. If I remember correctly, they do the same business as what do you call it, Carvana? Carvana has a lot of ads on Hulu. So yeah, it hit the 50-day move, a 50% fib line, came back. If this, now let me tell you something. The future predicts that it's bullish. But this is the thing. Got to do a couple things. If this breaks down, it could get a support at 38.52. If it breaks above the cloud, above the 61.8, that's when I will say this is definitely bullish. Now, on the 4 hours, again, this is a rounding bottom. It's definitely getting supported. It's testing its waters with the fib resistance right here, okay? Everything tells me that this will move up. Don't ask me time. Now you're going to say stocks always go up. Well, I always say it goes down too. You look at this trend line right here. You could even hit this. It's above, okay? And this could be, so whoever found this chart, it's a good chart, but the thing is this, I don't know their business. I don't know their, financial situation. If they are what I think they are, the online car sale company, let me search it. Let's go ahead and search it. Yeah, buy, sell, auto trade, used online vehicles. Yep. So yeah, they could have a nice business and the quarter might be good. But all I see here is that it went out and broke above. And if this cloud top resistance around 42.39 is taken out, I see some bullish activities on here. The most bullish scenario here is 53 bucks, but I want to be conservative and say 47. Okay. But I gotta watch the chart a little. So let's go ahead and please guys, I'm getting a lot of messages like where do you think this will go? Should I buy this? I don't want to tell you what to buy and sell or buy, options and so forth. So just ask me the name, I'll analyze it and then watch the video and then you make your own decision. Yeah. Next up, VUZI. I have no clue what this company is. It had a very nice breakout, came back, rested on the 20-day moving average. Let's fix this chart a little. And then the MACD, again, like I like to buy when the MACD comes out, okay? So when the MACD is, on the overbought territory, and I don't see the RSI, staying that way, or the, stochastics is like in the middle, I can't tell you that, your profits might be lower. So, buying this from here, the cloud, this is why I just talked about um, VROM or VRM just a second ago. I said, the cloud rip above the moving averages, MACD, stochastics, RSI. This is where you buy and you make, out of $4, you make 100%, 200%, 150%. At this point where this can go, and I'm not saying it's a bad, chart, it's a good chart. At this point where this could go, I'll give you the extensions, but it's not my style. Nobody asked me my style, so it's none of my business, but right here. Where this could go is 1442 to 1532 on the daily chart, okay? On the daily chart, it has to, 20-day moving average has been a good support, and if you see it touching there, you could get it. And for any bullish run, it needs to take over 9-day moving average. That is my style. I take the 9-day moving average. Somebody can do EMA instead of SMA. You know, that's my style. That's how I figured out things, and that's how I've been charting. Now, I might be completely wrong, or maybe there's another better ratio. That's, your take. If you had asked me the stock here, and I'm like, okay, the 9-day moving average is a very good support. There's obviously breakout right here on this candle here. You buy and you rip. So $10 to $16, 60% off your money. So you want to make money here, you can make a 50% on it. If it touches the 100% fib 1823, again, I'm not familiar with the company and how it moves, so I can only say the fib retracements or the fib extensions. Next up is Workhorse, WHKS. I believe, nope, did I do this wrong? WKHS, maybe? Yeah, sorry for that. Maybe it was misspelled when it's sent to me because I thought it was WKHS. Okay, so it is very nice. Big cup and handle, ripped up. Cloud support is there. I believe that if it tests the 9-day moving average or even dips a little below, like around 30, it's a good buy. It's still a buy. I think it's on a verge of breaking out. Um, yeah, it's bullish, but again, like if you had asked me when it formed this cup and handle and it's right here, 23 bucks to 40. Now it's 36. Where could it go? The smaller short-term extension, we can do that. It could go to 43.9. You can do another extension and move this extension all the way down here, the top here, and the bottom here. I think this is a more accurate extension, and 42.46 support level is 33.52, and it could come down a little bit more to 32.58 to 33.52 around there. Next leg up is 42.46. But again, it's like buying Palantir around $40, hoping that it goes back to 44 and then crashing down. So I'm not saying that it's a bad name. It is bullish. The chart is bullish. But it's just like, I wish that you guys have, or maybe you've just started following me. Somewhere here, like a rounding bottom, you buy, bam, right? Rounding bottom, bam. So now I can't like I think it's forming a pennant. The chart isn't as clear to me, okay? But I think it is forming a pennant. And I'm sorry if this is like a crappy pennant, um, but it is what it is. At this point, I've been charting for the last hour and 20 minutes, so I'm kind of tired. I could easily do this 2 videos, but it's too much work for me. So I'm like, what the heck? I'll just do it all in one video and give you guys the clicks. So on the description, just look at the description on YouTube and just click on the links. It'll take you to the ticker that you're interested in. So yeah, it is forming a pennant. It's just that it's too risky for me, but I see the next upside to 42.46 and 56.92. Okay. Next up is Excel. Now we compared GOEV and I talked about Excel, right? I said I like the business on Excel better than GOEV. I think it's more, lucrative. I think it's a better idea. We do see a rounding bottom. Um, we do see that it broke out of the channel, then retested it. MACD is almost ready. Stochastics is good, so this is good for a reversal. I mean, like MACD is not completely ready, but I like to buy things off of here, right? Let the MACD curl and cross and let these bars turn into green. Sell volume is not a lot. Heavily shorted name. We've drawn the extensions before. I believe that it could get up to 30 bucks, but the biggest resistance here is $22. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. So so you see these candles here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all of these will be the next resistance level as it was before. Okay. So the next leg up would be 22. If it breaks above, it's going to be this level right here, which is 25.90s around there, 25.50s, and then go up slowly. Now, if it rips the shorts in half, it could move to 30 in 2 seconds, just like big candle like this, kind of like how Big C went up. But the MACD, you gotta wait it out. So I would watch out MACD on the daily on this. Stochastics is good, but it's just that good meaning like it's about to turn up, but MACD is not completely ready yet. So be patient on this name, invest small, and you can accumulate slowly. I've put up the resistance levels and the support levels. Look how good the support is acting. Okay, so you just want to watch these levels, put the stops, or put or sell them at the resistance. That's all your choice, but this is what the chart tells me. Okay, it needs at least a couple more weeks. Maybe the Tesla will come down and then it'll rip with Neo Tesla, Blinks. They're all in the same. Blink has had a couple down days and so forth. It looks like it's reviving back. So GOEV, Helion, Excel, these are the names that, you know, when one goes down, the other goes down. The one goes up, other one goes up. So that's what the scenario is. Next name is XPEV. So another EV name. I will go ahead and do this. Very good support on the cloud. If it doesn't lose this, I believe this name is good. And I think their numbers were good. When I say this name is good, I meant the chart. So the cloud top right here will be our target. Of course, the target is determined by the fib extension anyhow. I'm just gonna go ahead and fix this box a little. So there you go. When I see the fib extension, the 50 or the 61.8 extension meeting up with a cloud top, this I will always say that is my definite target. Obviously, we are seeing a very definite, you know, descending wedge. If it breaks out, the first level of resistance will be the 49.70s, and then it'll definitely test 55.82. It looks like it's a rounding bottom. This, you could take it as a cup and a handle. Okay, the handle is not definitely formed yet. It'll retest this high right here, which is 58.59 level, and then if it manages to break out, I think the all-time highs will be retested. I'm not too big on the Chinese names here. You know, I'd rather buy NEO than XPEV, but it's your decision, it's your money, it's your choice. MACD is not fully ready yet, so, but I believe the cloud bottom is definitely a good support. It was a resistance before. Cloud top, you see how it was a resistance, revived back on the 9-day moving average, and then came back up. 9-day moving average supported the price, and then bam, it's now a resistance. So now I believe the biggest resistance, the shorter term resistance, is around 40 or 50, 30 to 50, 50s. Okay, that's where you will see a definite resistance. But this breakout will be huge, and it'll be 58, 65, and 77 are my targets. I don't see any good buying volume as of right here. Okay, I think because of Alibaba, this name kind of stopped. I think Alibaba has a lot of they own a lot of percentage in this name, I think, if I remember correctly. It's either Lee or XPEV in one of them. Okay. Zoom is next. I think we have one more ticker. We are over hour and 30 minutes. I believe I am exhausted. So on the daily, MACD is definitely going over bullish. I think that this name, wow, I've charted. What's going on? Let me zoom out. Let me go to weekly or something. Chart looks really busy. Now, this is my prediction, right? So far we've been dead on, and I think it's on the 50 fib support. I said my convention was buying opportunity here. As soon as it touched it the same day, one bam, bizarre. Okay, let me delete these fibs. I think the chart is really busy. Chart has been really busy. So my first target 533, 595, 800, and then 1000. You can laugh all you want. Laugh all you want. I don't care. You see this falling wedge, rising or descending wedge, broke out of it. It could come down and test 332. Maybe it could come down and test 316. I don't care. MACD is not ready yet. Earnings, again, don't mean crap for the last 2 weeks that I've seen. Anything on this yellow box, I will buy. Okay. Right now, the support is 336 on this, but I'm super bullish on the name. Rather it be you look at other traders and what their targets are, but if this thing hits at least 800, I wouldn't be surprised. Zoom is in our lives. It's not going to go away. Look at this volume of buying, okay? Look at the sell volume. So people are either trapped in, or this was an institutional buy and accumulation, and the, you know, the resting period for since October is going to be soon over. Rather, it's going to be because of the earnings, or if it falls down because of the earnings, I will be in this name for long term. Teladoc, Zoom, Palantir, these names, I'm tired of trading now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy Zoom, Palantir, Teladoc, and maybe one or two other company, maybe Neo or something, and just hold it for long term. Because I'm really tired. I think market has just worn me out. I'm just going to play long, maybe Fubo as well, but we'll see when that time comes. Zynga is next up. So Zynga has been there since Facebook was there. I think, I'm sorry, ZNGA should be the symbol. Zynga has been there forever. Okay. Now I don't know if this is one of those stocks that the MACD. See, this is what I mean. If MACD crossover, don't worry. This is a good buy. Actually, I don't know who suggested this to me, but the chart looks good. I think I know who it is. It's just that I don't have the names in my head. The chart on the weekly looks good. It's been bullish. Um, I don't know what the story is behind Zynga. I've known this name for a long time. Used to play their games on when first Facebook came out with their, gaming and so forth. And then I was like, screw this. I'm spending too much time on one of those farming games, uh, good old stupid days. One of those like Facebook farming games. So there you go. The top here is 1228. The support here is 903. I believe we're in the middle. Very definite cup and handle and broke out. Came to test on, this is the weekly by the way. Let's go to daily. You see this cup and handle and it broke out. Now it's getting tested by the 9-day moving average, which is the cloud top as well. Um, if you want me to chart this or do an extension, this is a difficult one actually. This will eat your patience away. So the 161 level was 10.4. Now it's becoming a resistance. Now you see how like sometimes I can eye and chart things out like this. It's just luck and kind of experience looking at charts. You see how I said like this, just drew a simple channel and I was like, yeah, the top of the channel. And I drew this on the weekly. Well, yeah, to be more formal than, or, to be more technical, $11.96 could be my next target. But then again, it needs to break this 161.8, 1040, which is, okay. It could come down as low as 955 and get ready for that. Okay. So this area right here, which has been the previous resistance and the support, now it's a support. It could retest 983, 955. I am not sure how this resistance is going to play out the 10.4, $10.40. The chart on the longer term side looks good. This is a name you want to, buy and hold long term, but again, I don't know if you're going to be happy with the gains. You got to, buy it and just set it. But to me, on the longer term, the most bullish scenario, maybe a year out from here, would be 14 bucks. This is a name that I've been hesitant. I've not, ever invested in it or ever even traded it. So I'm way far off from this name for years. For years. And this could be another top. So this could be another top like 11, 17. So I don't know. I don't know. The name has not been exciting me. So if we break this channel, then we could drop down here. It's not too exciting for me. I'll say that. If you're in the game, if you're in it, $10.40 is a huge resistance, so watch out for that. Okay, $9 or 9-day moving average on the weekly, which is 987, could be a support, and it has been previously. Okay, so I'd like to end with a conclusion. Please subscribe and give us a like. That was a joke, but what I like to say on the serious side of things is this. Look for the sector that your stock is in. Big tech names are stalling. I believe the GME mess is not over yet. Yellen is doing some things around. I don't know what she's doing. I've been, reading things on the Zero Hedge Twitter handle, and it's making me sick to my stomach. No acquisitions here, but no acquisitions here. But again, I believe the market is juggling, or I don't want to say the market makers, the market handlers, whoever is the market is juggling. It's musical chairs, and the last one is going to be busted. So be very careful. I believe Russell names are going to move a little higher. I believe the QQQ might be stalling a little. I believe SPY is moving up. Or all the names today were on low volume, so watch out for that. I believe the VIX is going to be um, you know go down a little more. Will take a week. Maybe in the mid of February, we might see more correction coming along the way. Maybe it'll be quicker. We don't know. We don't know what kind of mess Robinhood is in and all the hedge funds are in. They are selling big names, trying to cover up their mess. That's what it is. Low volume. Don't believe these pumps. I'm not a bear. I'm not bearish. I'm not a bull. I'm not bullish. I'm just reading the charts day by day and trying to read what's going on. We might be clueless, we might know nothing, but at least we're trying to predict on a given analysis and we're not trying to just, play the guess game. So be safe. It is an hour and 40-minute video, and this is probably going to be one of my longest videos ever. So see you tomorrow.